All right. Good morning. This is Grant Gainey. This is a quick demo on some work we've done in Pulp-cli to teach it to be able to accept PRNs in a variety of places, basically anywhere that there's a resource taken in the CLI. This will work obviously for any for talking to any Pulp instance that's running Pulp Core 3.63 or later, because prior to that there were no PRNs. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to create a file remote, which is pretty standard. And as you can see up here, that's actually a bad URL for file remotes because it doesn't end in pulp manifest. And while we're here, we're going to grab that file remotes PRN. And actually, I'm going to have to do that differently here. Okay. Then we're gonna do an update on this remote. And what we're going to do is, instead of using the href or the name of the remote, we are going to use the PRN that we just created. Make sure I've got the right thing here. There we go. So there's the remote's PRN, and I'm going to actually give it the corrected manifest. Anywhere you see something like remote or repository or distribution, that takes a resource in Pulp-cli. It can be like a unique identifier, like the name is often used. It can be Pulp-cli's own resource notation, which would be something like file : remote : and then the uh, unique identifier. And now you can use PRNs in all of those. So let's update that remote. Wait for it. Hey, it's done. Now that we've updated it, we're now going to use that same PRN here to create a repository. Let me grab the PRN. No, not the whole line. That would be bad. There we go. As you can see, it works. Now we have a repository. And the next thing I want to do is sync that repository. So again, and now we're just going to use the repositories PRN, and you can see the PRN being used for a different kind of resource here. Grab this one. My apologies, I am having trouble with my mouse today. There we go. Wait for it. Quick sync. Now we have a repository that synced successfully. I'd like to create a publication for that. So I'm going to do the same thing here, grab the repositories PRN and create a publication for it. And that's done. I want to create a distribution, and this time I'm going to use the publications PRN. Like so. And now we have a distribution. And the last thing we're going to do is show that we can talk to a file repository version, again, with the repository resource. And so this process basically works anywhere in any of the plugins, because this is happening at the, well, that was interesting. Let's try that one again. This is happening at a pretty low level in the CLI framework. So no plugin has to do special work for this. This will work for anything in the CLI that's using a resource option. Go. No such option. Oh yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? Show repository. You got to tell it what the PRN is. And you kind of need the repository PRN, not the distribution PRN. Anyway, this is just, like I said, this is just a, here's the repository, just an example of some of the commands that will now accept PRNs. Drop this in just so I can prove to you that it'll actually work, even though I'm being finger fumbly. Everything works. The one caveat with this is, one of the things you can do in the CLI is you can show things by href. So if I have to grab this whole href and plug it in, and it shows the whole thing. The pulp show command does not have a PRN equivalent, because there's currently no way to hand a pulp instance a naked PRN. And we've talked about this. I brought this up at the Pulp Core team meeting. Not sure what we're going to do about that yet. Whether we'll make that accessible there. We have some ideas on how to make that possible on the CLI side of things, but it requires touching pretty much everything and putting some machinery in place on the client side. We have plans, however, so we might get to that one as well. And that is my demo. Anybody have any questions?
Great job.
Questions? All right, I will stop sharing.